Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dennis and welcome back to Day Art Survival video. So many people are actually asking me the same questions over and over again. I guess I'm just gonna make a video about it then. So it's about these cones over here. Well, also for the remaining key shard and also ice key over here as well. So, but mainly it's for the cones over here, the copper cones, silver cones, and also golden cones over here. So the question is, what is this used for? Like, what are the purposes of these cones over here? There is so many of them, and for now there is not really many things that you can do with it, right? In fact, all of these don't really have any purpose whatsoever. However, this is actually kind of reminding me of the last year's event, I believe. I believe last year's event, if you take a look at the event over here, it was not gingerbread, if I remember correctly. I feel like there was like some kind of cones, but I forgot where was it. Was it like last year or the year before that, perhaps? Um, Maybe it's last year actually, because yeah, I actually remember that there's some kind of cones as well. So can anyone like remind me if it actually appeared like last year as well as the main event? What is it? Resources, because it's like gingerbread now, right? But I'm pretty sure that last year it was not actually gingerbread. It was, I think it was cones actually. So yeah, and why is that matters, right? Why is that the thing? What's the thing about it? Like, what about it? Well, there are some things about that. This one is a little bit complex to explain. I'm gonna try to explain it as easy as possible so that you can understand. So far as you can see, the copper cone can only create into the silver one, 10 for 1, and then silver one, 10 to 1 golden cone. And the golden just ends like that. None of these items have description whatsoever. As you can see, there is not really any description. Unlike unlike the other event item, like for instance, this staff, this thing over here, there is description over here actually, right? So um, by that in its own, I feel like none of this is actually useful at the first glance, right? Because there's no description, so it cannot really be something that is that important. And also, if you take a look over here as well, over here, gingerbread and magic ball, they also don't really have any description whatsoever. And the way you got this, farm this pretty much, there's actually grindable quests that you can do every month in game, if I'm not mistaken, because I grinded this actually. As you can see, I have 23 of the copper ones, 8 of the silver cones. Actually, and historically speaking, I did have 10 actually. There's two of them. One of them I already sent to other player, and the other one is kind of ready to be sent as well. And then there is three of these. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have. Three golden coins, pretty much 300 copper ones, and eight of this is 80. So I have about 400 worth of copper cone or more, pretty much, because yeah, this is 10, right? Um, this was 10, so 423 pretty much. And also there is this key shard and ice key as well that I still have left. Pretty much I can do this one time, and as you can see, 3 key shards and 12 ice keys. I already did all of them. I already did every ice fortress as well, or the ice castles, whatever you want to call that. I have this remaining over here. Okay, let's go to the, I guess, the thing that is most important. What is the use of this cones over here? Um, well, let's just go straight into the point. This is my theory, okay? The first time I know this item existed, like at the first time version 740 happened, that midnight, the video where you saw that I made midnight. I already think about this one over here. So if you go to the game store and then you go to the Halloween section, as you can see, there is this gold coin, treats, pumpkin. There is so many trades that you can do using the remaining Halloween resources back then, right? There's the ghosts, I think. I don't know what it's called. Forgot. And also the Halloween coins. What is this again? Gold coin and souls. Okay, not ghosts. It's souls and gold coins. That was like the main resource for the event. Equivalent of like magic balls, which is the gold coin, and then the gingerbread as opposed to the souls over here. Now, what I think about what the cone's gonna be is that I think there might actually be another store like this, and you can trade gingerbread into what is it? Gingerbread into the magic balls, and there might be also another trade for the cones as well. But that was the first time I thought about it. Okay. However, I then realized that you can kind of send this to someone else here. Like for instance, this person over here, I can send to them. Well, the person just went away, so that's no longer a thing. Apparently, you can send these cones to other players, and that already killed my first theory about the game store that might actually, pop up over here after the event. Why? Because here's the thing, you can only grind this from the quests, right? You cannot really get this from anywhere else, pretty much. This is from the New Year's event, and you can only do that grindable from one of these thing over here, which I already make video about all the locations. Go check that out if you wonder where. Um, and the thing is, what happens if you can trade the item that's only exclusive from the quests? You can trade that to other players. Well, that kind of killed the exclusivity, I would say, or whatever the word for that. Why? Because I mean, technically speaking, you can just not do any of these quests, but you can just get these from other players, right? And I feel like that wouldn't be fair for people that actually do the quests. And you can just get these from other players, maybe for free, maybe for something. I don't know how you get that anyway. And you can get this item over here. I feel like that will be, I don't know, a little bit. I feel like that's not really how that's supposed to be, right? Like, you can have access to the game stores using things that you don't originally grind yourself. I feel like that's a little bit killing the vibes, in my opinion. That's why when I noticed that these cones are tradable, or you can send this to other players, it kind of killed my thought about there will be game stored, because yeah, like I said, you can just not do anything and get this from other players, and you have access to the store. I feel like that wouldn't be fair. So yeah, so as soon as I heard that, I just thought, oh no, okay, so now that that's a thing, then the store will no longer be a thing, pretty much. Then that's another use just gone to waste, right? So like, what about what do you think then? What do you think will be the function of this? Um, this one is kind of tough, honestly, because the fact that you can send this to other players, as long along with the ice keys as well. By the way, it kind of gets it a little bit difficult, in my opinion, on how to make these things use. Pretty much, you can kind of compare with things like. This one over here, for instance, this titanium alloy, and then capacitor and the armor plate. These three items over here, these you cannot trade this with other players. You cannot really send this to other players, meaning that the only way to get titanium alloy, for instance, you have to craft it yourself, and to get the titanium ore, meaning that you have to fight the creatures in the mine yourself. Now that's fair, right? Because it's difficult to obtain and it has uses, right? And it because it's difficult to obtain, and it's forbidden to send to other players. The same goes with this one as well. Although you can actually trade the materials for this, pretty much. I think there are some things that the base materials to craft this. I think you can send to other players, but crafting it yourself is still a subject to yourself, because you cannot really get this, right? And the way to craft this is actually not easy, actually, because You can get this, as you can see, from Novo and from Irkutsk over here. And to access their workshop, pretty much you need the maximum reputation. And on top of that, to do the quests, you also need to have the required level as well. So pretty much these items for here are for people with high level, right? There's that limit. But for this one, again, you can just send new players this, and I feel like it wouldn't be fair for how kind of difficult it is to grind this, and other people can just get it for with no effort, pretty much. I feel like uh, yeah, that's why I feel like there will not be any big use of this, just because you're kind of killing the vibes there, with it being you can send this to others. What about the possibility? What can it do? Still, I'm not sure about that as well. I don't really think that these cones over here will be available for crafting. That is, I feel like 99% it won't happen. The 1% it might happen, but I feel like it's like there's like so many layers of things that will make that happen pretty much. But I feel like it wouldn't be a thing. Also, yes, by the way, I feel like this thing over here will go away when this event already ends. And by the way, the event will get extended until the end of January. So take that as well. There's so many still some days for you to grind this pretty much. So if you want to grab yourself some, do that. If you don't want, then it's fine. You can just get from other players because apparently you can send this to others. So yeah, but as the term of the use for these items, I don't think there will be anything substantially useful. I think this is just gonna be, I don't know, relic items perhaps. Like you can think about it. Items like spoons, for instance. Well, I mean, spoons back then anyway, they have kind of their own use. So, I feel like it's not gonna be like the same level as that. If anything, it actually is gonna be the same level as the Easter eggs. Unfortunately, I didn't do that whatsoever the previous year. I will do that this year for sure. There's the rainbow egg, and then there's regular Easter egg event as well. I mean Easter egg. There's like regular ones and the rainbow one. Now that actually I think this one is the equivalent of that. Although you can actually eat the egg as well, like you can actually eat the egg. So I'm not sure about that actually because you cannot really eat this, right? You cannot eat these for things. So yeah, rainbow egg you can still eat that, I believe, or the Easter egg, and that one also you can send that to other players as well. But yeah, there's not really many use for that. In fact, the only use is you either eat it or just sell to other players as relic pretty much. Now yeah, I feel like this is just the same equivalent of that, especially when it's you can send this to other players. I feel like it's not gonna be anything special, especially if it's tradable with other players, and that's just my take on it. Well, for the keys though, I feel like it will be the same. I think the reason why you can have spare keys is that maybe when you lost your keys somehow, maybe you drop your keys in the town and then the town got reset. By got reset, I mean, if you, by the way, if you don't know, if you leave items in a search location in a town, like this random town, for example, there's probably like a house that you already searched, and if you leave things there for a period of time, I don't know how long, it will actually disappear. So be careful with that. It must do not leave anything in the town. If anything, leave that in a open camp like this outside the town, at least. Like maybe yeah, over here at around this road over here perhaps. Just leave your items there if you don't want to pick them up. Or if you cannot pick them up all, just don't leave anything inside your town. Yeah, that's why at least for the keys, the function is there, right? It's to open the fortress, and there's this spare keys that you can get if you somehow lost your keys, which is great thing. Which it has its own use, right? But for the golden cone, silver cone, copper cone, again, I don't really know what it's gonna do. I guess you can kind of put it the same way as this one, probably the queen bee head. Like at the moment, queen bee head doesn't really have anything, any use pretty much. However, queen bee head, you cannot really send this to other player, meaning that in the future, I feel like this will be useful for things, and yeah, we'll see about that. But I have like 99% faith or certainty that this queen bee head will be useful sometime in the future, because you cannot send the queen bee carcass to other players. You cannot oh, actually, no, never mind. You cannot really send the queen bee to other players. You cannot send this queen bee head to other players as well, so there is that exclusivity, right? And that's why I feel like things like queen bee head might actually be useful in the future. But for this one, just because you can send it to others, I feel like, again, that just kills the vibes in my opinion. And yeah, these items just not gonna be anything special in my opinion. So yeah. mm, I guess the only use is that if you're like low level players perhaps, and you need some resources, you can sell this to other players perhaps, because there is so many players that pretty much have anything and they just want to collect stuff, and maybe they want to collect this kind of stuff in exchange for your needs, right? So yeah, I guess you can sell this for, I don't know, cheap perhaps in the commercial channel. Maybe you can do that in the Discord server as well. You can sell this for, I don't know, like your supplies pretty much. Maybe people will pay that, or trade with you of that materials pretty much. I don't know, but that's a use for sure. But outside that, I don't think there's anything that matters. Um, like I said, at first I thought there could be something like this, where you can change your cones into things, but the moment I noticed that you can send this to others, that's no longer the option. Yeah, I don't think that will ever be the option anyway, especially in the game store. It's There's nothing here that you can obtain from other players. So yeah, I feel like it's not gonna be a case anymore. So yeah, that's it, I guess, for this one. I don't really want to make this a bit too long. Pretty much, that's what I'm seeing of these items over here, and their future, pretty much, which is just nothingness. It's just Easter egg. It doesn't really have anything useful, pretty much. Even it's probably worse than the egg, because at least you can eat the egg for some reason, right? But this one you cannot eat this. You cannot really grow this. I don't think you can grow this ever. Reason is simple, because well, what about people that joined after the event? They will not have access to this. Then I feel like it's not gonna be a thing. Like, you cannot really grow this into, I don't know, like pine tree, for example. I don't think that will be the case, unless the developers make that into a thing, common thing, which I cannot doubt as well, because I don't know. This is like limited amount of item as well, like, right? Like, you can grind this, but you, at the end of the day, you cannot really get so many of it. And yeah, I feel like this will not be able to be grown into trees, and I don't know. I feel like that will be a thing anyway. So yeah. Can you eat cones in real life? I don't think so. This is like seeds, right? Like, then it grows into pretty much like pine tree. I don't think you can eat these cones though. Squirrel probably can eat these. I don't think this thing has any nutritional value. So yeah, I don't think so. Well, let me know if you know if there's any nutritional value. I don't think you can eat this. I don't think you can cook this. You cannot even sell this to NPC, by the way. So yeah, it's pretty much useless. If you ask me what's the purpose of this, then my short answer, it's just for collection, or you can sell this to other players, and that's it. That's pretty much it. So yeah, but one thing for sure though that I can tell you about is that when you fight or grind these quests, your main points will not be to catch this. I feel like your main goal probably is to get the Olivier salad, fireworks, or ice creams, perhaps. Actually, I will release a video about ice cream showcase, and it's I feel like ice cream is the winner weapon for this entire event. Maybe I will make another video about that as well. Like the best weapon, in my opinion, I feel like ice cream is the best. So, when you grind for this quest, what you're looking for is not scones. I feel like what you're looking for is the other items that is more useful. So yeah, I think a bit for this one. Hope you guys enjoy it. Really don't want to make this long, but I feel like those are my thoughts, my opinions. Let me know down below what you think these items will be, because yeah, I'm also kind of confused myself. But at the moment, in short, there's not really much you can do with it. Only two things: one, sell to others, or two, collect it yourself for your personal collection, and that's pretty much it. So yeah. Anyway, I think for this one, I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay so healthy. I will see you again tomorrow with another DR survival video. But until then, see ya.